All right, this is Freja. She is going to be the next Overwatch hero come Season 16. Now, I understand that Season 15 is coming and it has perks and it has loot boxes and all this other stuff that I am going to talk about. Don't worry, if you didn't catch the podcast, by the way, I have a new podcast. It's discussed there too, but I will have some videos about perks coming later. But I really wanted to talk about Freja because she confuses me. At least she confused me a lot when I first watched the Spotlight. So I'm kind of going to waste no time here. First off, crossbow character, pretty cool. I do think that her design, I watched a little bit of gameplay. It was pretty hard to kind of distinguish her from Ana silhouette wise because of the cape that they have. Now, not all Ana skins have that cape, so I have a feeling that it's probably not going to end up that way. But it kind of was hard to figure out who was what, and maybe it's because, Blizzard Campus, low bit rate, all that jazz. I'm not playing the game at, 1080p, 144 hertz, whatever. So that's probably part of it. But yeah, her design I think is still kind of cool. I do really, really like this crossbow, and I'll show you that to begin with. But just overall, she feels strange. She looks like she's supposed to be kind of like a marksman character, but she's a little bit more like long to mid range. And you'll kind of see why. I don't know. I'm really intrigued by her because at the end of the day, she's a character that is like not ability based. She's really movement oriented and like very gun oriented. And I guess like we'll talk about the things that how her abilities work, but she's got movement abilities. Those are all of her abilities. And she's got like secondary and primary fire. So when you say it like that, she sounds really boring, but in reality, she's got a lot of like really interesting movement tech like this. When I saw this in the trailer, I can't like begin to tell you how confused I was, right? How she's able to continue moving up into the air like she's got a million different dashes. And that's because she like refreshes her one of her dashes that brings her in the direction that she is moving. So she dashes in the direction she's already moving. So I guess that as the trailer shows us, if that direction is up because she's using her updraft ability, she can continue going up. So she fires a bolt and hits the bolt, and then she gets another reset of it and gets to keep going up. And instead, she could hit one and go to the right and go to the left. I feel like there's a lot of skill here. But also, since you get that dash back when you hit something, there's a bit of like risk versus reward as well. That seems really, really interesting. That's kind of what I want to talk about in this video. Like, what is going to be her shtick? What is going to be like cool about her, right? How is she going to play? Maybe, obviously we've only got little snippets. But yeah, just really, really interesting. And then her ult is like kind of like an AoE thing, but we'll talk about that. I'm going to go ahead. Thank you, Karq, for the footage. I'm going to watch his breakdown because I think he does a decent job showing everything off, right? So that's her primary fire. It's very fast, and initially I thought it did a lot of damage, but maybe that's because headshot bias. It seems like it really doesn't do too much damage, but I want to point out here, before he starts using like the secondary fire, look at the bottom right. Do you see this down here? Her primary and secondary fire have different ammo. So she has to fully reload when she uses the bolt. Now, when she does use the bolt, she can reload just the bolt thing by dashing. So she gets a dash, right, when she hits a bolt, and she reloads when she dashes. So I think in theory, you could kind of be like super airborne. Maybe there's an extent to it. But that's like really, really interesting, where she's not like a true flyer character, but if you are like super skillful and you know how to like use her, use all of her movement to the best of its ability. Her updraft, you saw that he's like, when you're in the air and you scope down sights, you like slow as well. Like that, right? So you could really be super duper airborne if you really want to. But I could also see this character being like, very flank oriented as well. There's a lot. So you can see here, right? Vault in the direction you're moving and refresh tank aim. Updraft is launch upwards with a gust of wind. You've seen her use that already. The take aim is slow your momentum to take aim with a high speed explosive bolt. Using quick dash refreshes take aim, right? So maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you don't get anything back if you hit a take aim. Did I make that up? I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. She also has this really interesting ultimate or passive that they're toying with, where every 5 killing blows, she gains extra ult charge. And it is a considerable amount of ult charge. Now, it does have to be killing blows, so it's very unlikely you're going to get it through like one fight. You'll probably get it over 2 fights. But managing your ultimate is going to be really, really cool on this character, because you can kind of min-max and go, okay, I have 4 final blows, and I have my ult. So I want to use my ult and then get that last final blow, and then I'm going to get like a big next wave to my ult. So her bola, her ult, can't be that good, because I think in theory you could really exploit some of the stuff, like the power of this character, which is really, really interesting in my opinion, right? There you go. That's kind of what it looks like. This is the temporary UI. This means that she has 1 kill, right? So she has 1 final blow. He's going to show he got another right there. He gets 3, right? And look at that, how much ult she gets, right? She gets the final blow, and it goes up like 25% or something crazy like that. Now, obviously, that's all subject to change, but I think you could really, really toy around and kind of make that really dynamic and interesting. Like, I think a lot of high skill players, like min-maxing when you use your ult, is going to be really, really key on this character. Now, the next thing he shows off is the bola, which it has like a pull-in effect. Like, it has a mini grab effect, but the thing about it is that you have to hit someone for the grab effect to work, right? So you can fire it in between them, like here, but it's only going to do the AoE damage. But if you hit someone directly, it does more damage and it pulls people in. So yes, obviously this person is going to get pulled into the center, but this one here is too, right? You see it. Really, really interesting, really high skilled. I assume you can eat this with D.Va ult. So you have to have good aim to get the most value out of it, and it's like definitely super counterable with plenty of like stuns, passives, movement abilities, like anything like that, right? Now, I don't know when he starts showing off the, what's it called? The perks, because I'm not going to go into the perks here because, I don't know, it's just really not that kind of video. Hi, Boger. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know much about the perks. Okay, there he goes. He starts using like the flight. So yeah, this is the thing that reloads your stuff. Is it when you use an updraft, you get an extra dash, or is it when you use your bolt, you get an extra dash? I'm actually not sure. Let me see here if it looks like it. Jump. There you go. So you jump and you get an extra dash. So, it's not actually the skill shot. So strike that from the record, Your Honor. Sustained, overruled. Still pretty interesting. I honestly think it'd be cooler if she could like stay in the air forever. But that is still like a good thing. Like it's also like high risk, right? Because putting yourself directly into the air and then aiming down sights and slowing your momentum makes you very susceptible, and you only have 225 HP. So you've got to be like really careful about how you do that. But then again, you do have your dash, right? And then also like using your dashes effectively, you could go up into the air without any dashes and just kind of go for a cheeky pick and then leave, or you could stay up in the air, or again, you could continue your momentum as well, right? And since the dashes reset your shot, you want to try and shoot as many times as possible, but since you slow when you're shot, like it could be too risky. So maybe you need to like jump, dash, then shoot, then dash again, then shoot again. Or any combination of things. Like, I think that's going to be really, really interesting trying to figure that out. It's very, very strange. And did you see, like, look at him dash, stop his momentum, dash again. It's going to be really hard to pin this character down if they've got really, really good movement tech. And trying to figure out how many dashes they have is also going to be maybe a little bit of a nightmare. Very, very interesting. I think I'm really excited to see what this character is, because she also has headshots, right? So like you can hit that that other shot and like it doesn't kill a 250 health target even if you hit them with the explosion and a headshot, and it's not even really that close either. And her follow-up to it is not very consistent as well, right? Because her primary, it doesn't seem as like that good. It seems pretty slow. And, you know, to fire another bolt, you do have to do another dash and then kind of like charge it up a little too, because it is like a crossbow. It's not really a charge up, but it does take a second. It's interesting. I'm really, at the end of the day, like, this is just like a movement shooty character, right? It's not anything that is particularly new. You know what I mean? But I think she is going to feel really unique. And I think she's going to feel really hard to pilot when you're really trying to like get the most maximum value out of her, right? I do think her ult is her passive is a very interesting idea. Like, that is something that I think is like really cool about trying to like min-max, like when you use your ult. It's not just like use it for tempo or anything. It's like, dude, if I get another final blow here, like my ult, I'm going to waste a lot of my ult charge, but I also don't want to waste my ult, right? So now you've got like this push and pull about when you use it. Very cool. Very cool. I'm so excited to try this character out when she comes out later. And of course, you know, again, I'm not going to talk about the perks right now because that's not what this is about. Does she feel maybe a little bland from a character perspective? We don't really know much about her too much, other than that she's an ex-Overwatch agent turned bounty hunter. That's about it. She's from Denmark. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I think she's cool. She confuses me. You know, why would you pick this character over a lot of other characters? Finding her niche is going to be interesting. I think most of her kit is just designed around survivability and damage as a DPS, right? She doesn't have a lot of extra utility outside of her ult. But maybe if you're good enough, she could just be a utility bot, because you just keep getting killing blows, or your team lets you get killing blows. That's going to be really interesting. It's going to be like, you stole my kill. You know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling maybe that'll get tweaked. Maybe she just needs to have a certain amount of eliminations because, you know, people can steal kills, but it's still really cool. So with that being said, what do you think about her? Before you let me know, please like and subscribe. I do really appreciate it. I am going to be putting a couple of videos out this weekend outside of my normal schedule, just because there's so much to talk about. So be on the lookout for a little bit more stuff as we go forward. And next week, I am going to be posting a lot, even though I do really want to play Avowed. I will be giving you guys what you want. So please, and again, please watch the podcast. It just launched. We're going to probably be doing it bi-monthly or monthly, depending on how much happens and how many people I can get in on it. So be on the lookout for those on this channel as well. Join my memberships below if you want extra videos. I need to get another member video out pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that as well. And twitch.tv/LaneHemingway is when I stream. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays is when you can catch me, and join my Discord down below if you really want to keep up to date when I'm live and any other projects that are happening. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Please have a good day.